Hello everyone, this is Billy V. I'm an intuitive and today's message is going to be how to reprogram the matrix. And what I mean by matrix is the program that we are living with in this body. And just real quick, that really means is that all the experiences you've had since the time you came onto this planet, all the way through your childhood, what you've been taught, all the rules and regulations, all those things that you carry with you, and it's in your head. And I did a video on the head and the heart. So basically, whatever you capture in your head and what is monitored by your ego. Now, the ego is not bad or good. There's both sides, but there's a negative side to the ego, where when you get upset, anger, hatred, jealousy, all those things that are not really good for you, but through program and how you were taught, people live in that part of their minds and they get trapped there. Okay, so number one is breath. Everybody breathes, but no, we take it for granted. We don't even think about it. But I found in my practice, in my spiritual practice, when I go into meditation, I had to rediscover how to breathe. Which is so important because through the breath you get in touch with your physicality. You get in touch with what's inside of you and how you can separate the head and the heart and start making a connection to your heart and your spirit and your higher self, what comes from the universe or from God or whatever you want to call that. So in breath, the first step is to learn how to control your breath, how to make intention with your breath, how to feel your breath. So I'll demonstrate a little bit, and I do this every single day. I take deep breaths through my nose, I hold it for a few seconds, and I exhale, and I let it go all the way down to my abdomen. And I do this maybe 10 times, up and down, all the way down. And what you want to do is kind of empty your mind if possible and try to pay attention to the breath. Now, the breath in your life is so important because let's say you get into a stressful situation. You're in traffic, let's say, and your mind's going because you got to be somewhere and you're going to be late and you start getting anxiety. So if you were to center yourself and start this deep breathing, you could calm down, because you need to find your heart space so you don't get caught up with the drama, which in turn will dictate how your outcome is going to be as you're moving through the planet. This could happen at work. It could happen anywhere in your life as you're venturing out and living life. So that's why breath is so important. Now, while you're breathing in and out, so you could feel your physicality, I do some exercises with my hands. I take my thumb, I hold them like my hands like this, and I press just below my sternum, my solar plex, and I take a deep breath in, and then I push out, and I press in, and I feel my organs. I feel inside, and I empty out my breath. Then I move down to what my navel is, and I breathe in, and I press, and I do below the navel. Breathe in, and that makes me feel the connection between my breath and my physicality, because, like, again, we take our breathing for granted because we just do it automatically without really thinking or having a presence in our physical body what breath can do. And that's the first step to finding out who you are. Especially when you go into meditation, you want to start this breathing and put your focus on it, because when you first start meditation, what happens with most people, your mind doesn't shut up and it's there, and you're thinking about going to work, going shopping, you got to take a shower, you got to do all these things, and you have to get to a place where you can calm your mind down and you use your breath to get there, and eventually you'll find that there'll be a separation from that mind that's really busy, and now all of a sudden thoughts start coming in. So the second step is imagination. Now, when I was growing up, imagination was beat out of us as kids because you wasn't supposed to imagine anything, like you were daydreaming. So imagination is so important because you have to see and imagine stuff. How many have you been in your car driving down the road and you start thinking and imagining stuff, and then you wake up, an hour later, and you're at your destination. You don't remember anything about the drive. That means your mind went into automatic pilot. You're there with the universe, moving information in. So you start imagining things. Start imagining what would life look like if you could accomplish anything, if you could be anything. You could also imagine if you're depressed, if you're not feeling good. Imagine stuff about love, things that you have memories about of love, a love situation, and start breathing that in and imagining it. With the imagination, you start feeling it in your body. What happens? Your body will start waking up, and this is what happened to me. And eventually, I start getting more information, more intuitive hits, and my intuition starts to heighten because my imagination and my breath are now in synchronicity, is moving in a rhythm, and that creates a tremendous power within inside of you. You start really feeling good. In fact, when I do these exercises, I get high. I feel really good. And actually, I stand outside in a circle that I created, and I plant my feet on the earth so I can ground to the planet. So all the negative ions the negative static electricity that's in my body dissipates, and the earth takes it. And that's another conversation, but grounding is also very important. Okay, the third step is feel and think. So you're breathing, you're imagining, and you start feeling it, and you start thinking it, and then you start believing and seeing the possibilities. You'll start getting downloads, you'll start getting ideas. If you have an intention, you start writing these things down. If you have a goal, you start writing them down. And in your meditation, start visualizing what it will look like. And in your mind's eye, see it as if it is. You got to see it like you already have it. It could be money, it could be a house, it could be you're looking for love or whatever. One thing about those kind of things, I imagine, I see it, and I let it go. I don't hold on to it. I allow the universe to take it and start showing me signs along the way, and eventually you get serendipitous events that start happening, and it comes out of nowhere, and that gives me enough belief that these things can come true. Also, while this is happening, you're separating, and you're able to see your ego thoughts, your matrix thoughts, the life thoughts, the programming, all the past lives. You're constantly thinking about the past. You learn how to push that away so you can see what potentials are in front of you. So the third one, again, is to think about it and to feel it. Fourth is to vibrate. So in this practice, when I'm going into meditation, I take 5 to 10 minutes and I move my hands. So I do either two positions. I shift my hands like so. I'm breathing, I relax, I anchor myself, and I start to move. And I kind of relax, and I let go and allow. And all of a sudden, my body starts moving on its own. I'm breathing, I'm imagining, I'm seeing, I'm getting downloads, and I start moving. You do that for about 5 minutes, and you let it go, and you'll start feeling vibration. You'll start feeling energy coming out of your hands. And I do this for about 30 minutes, and all of a sudden, my hands are on fire with a lot of light and love. And then I just start passing it around my body, and I start loving myself. If you're achiness, you wake up sore or whatever, and I move it around my body. Because the key ingredient on this planet is that we get beat up so much in life that we are so critical about ourselves that we don't take time to love ourselves, to nurture ourselves. And you need to learn to love yourself, because if you're looking for love and you're critical about yourself, that's the frequency and the energy you're putting out to the world, into the matrix, and that's what you get. Whatever vibration you're holding anger, resentment, stuff in your past, it's going to come in front of you. So the whole key of these exercises is to raise your frequency so you can attract a higher frequency of love and vibration for your life, and life will become easier because now you're plugged in, not into the matrix and the physicality, you're plugged into the universe, and God or source or whatever you want to call it will start downloading all these attributes for you. So you have to move, you have to vibrate. I also clasp my hands like a cup and I shake like this, and I just shake, 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 and I'm breathing. And you'll start feeling alive inside your physicality, your body. I also do side to side movements and I breathe. This is Qigong movements. You start moving and you start feeling the energy coming through your breath. Your intentions are there, you're imagining, and everything starts working, and you kind of get into an altered state. And trust me, if you can work up to a half an hour to an hour of doing this, you'll feel 100% different. If you do it every day, your day will be easier. You'll be aware of your breath, so you run into any stressful situation, you center yourself, and that comes forth instead of the program that pisses you off, and matter where you want to fight or feel angry, and then the whole rest of the day goes terrible. And sometimes that lasts for weeks and months, and some people let that go on for years. And the final is taking action. So at least a couple of times a week, go for a walk, going for a walk in nature, go to a forest. My favorite thing is going to the beach. The negative ions in the beach are so powerful that the minute I show up there, I get high immediately and I start getting downloads and information. So, these being out in nature at least a couple of times a week. If you could do it every day, fantastic. Most people can. You're busy working or whatever. Start off with about 5 minutes with this and build up. The more you do this, the bigger this energy muscle will develop, and trust me, your life will become easier, and how you navigate challenges. Because we're on what they call schoolroom Earth. Earth is a challenging place with negatives and positives constantly going on when you're working within the 3D and the negative and the matrix. And these exercises will help you elevate yourself so you can raise your frequency and get to the 5th dimension of thinking, and eventually everything starts happening with flow and ease instead of challenges. When you get a challenge, you go into breath, and what happens, instead of looking at one way or the other, you look at option 3, 4, 5, 6. You'll get multiple options because you're plugged into the universe, and your guides and your angels will give you the information you need so you can navigate your life easier, and you don't just get hung up. It's like getting a flat tire in a car, and you stay there for weeks and months worrying about this flat tire instead of plugging into source and getting the answers you need to navigate through your life so you can be happy and in love. So obviously there's more information, you can get deeper into this, but for this video, I just wanted to give you these basics. Again, this breath, use your imagination. You gotta think and feel it with every fiber of your being, and then you gotta take some kind of physical action outside of your daily meditation. Daily meditations, at least 5 minutes, work it up to at least an hour. And what happens once you get past 35 minutes, 45 minutes, you'll forget about time, and sometimes you'll be out there for 2 hours in meditation, breathing, doing these exercises, and eventually you'll find your own rhythm and how they intersect with each other. These are just outlines. For me, it happens all at the same time, and I feel it and I do it. But this is the way I started and how things started working out. So like right now, I get downloads constantly. Life is pretty amazing, and I'm really in a high frequency of love constantly. And it's really nice because I could tell when I go out to Starbucks and I just say good morning to somebody, I could see the reaction because I'm an empath, so I feel people's energy. I could tell immediately if they're sad or happy. I get information on what's going on in their lives, and sometimes that could be a little challenging too, but I center myself right away. I take a deep breath, and I'm okay. I don't take on people's stuff. And these are things that will lead you to more and more attributes as far as your spirituality is concerned, how you can navigate in this planet. And then most of all, love yourself. That's what this is going to lead. You have to learn how to love yourself and forgive yourself of all the stuff, and forgive all the people in your past that hurt you. Sometimes that'll pop up and you'll go into a little depression, and this will help you get out of it. Sometimes you need to go talk to somebody, find someone to counsel with. There's plenty of people online. Ask a friend. I also do sessions like that where I counsel people and help them out. And you can find me on Instagram, and we're actually developing more and more channels to get out there in the world. And I'm just blessed and very thankful that I finally decided to just come out and I'm gonna do my thing, and hopefully I touch somebody. And that's what this is all about, just making someone's life easier, because I had a traumatic life experience growing up, many challenging things, and which has brought me to this point. So anyway, I think we'll end it there. Blessings to everybody, with light and love, and look forward to seeing you at the next video.